Hello, Doris, and welcome to our Bandra Fair special episode on Natalie Inspires You.
Hi, Nats. I'm so happy to be here with you, reviving old memories and just taking a walk down through the streets of the Bandra Fair, and most of all, just thinking of the Mount Mary's Basilica. Thank you for having me here.
I was so happy to invite you to my show today, since you've been living in Bandra like forever. And I'm pretty sure a lot of my viewers from Bandra would know you and your lovely family. But I'd like to do the honors and introduce you, my fellow Bandrite. Doris D'Souza was born and brought up in Bandra. She traveled the world, but Bandra is her home. Fresh out of St. Andrews College, she flew the skies with Cathay Pacific Airways and lived in Hong Kong for 6 years. She married a master mariner and sailed the seven seas. With time, she chose to be a homemaker and is a mother to 2 fantastic kids, now mature youth. Her dogs, Prince and Fido, opened up a new aspect to her personality, from indifference to now a very passionate dog lover. She works in whatever way she can to help the stray and street dogs, since her 2 dogs are adopted from shelters. Doris says that today Prince and Fido take priority over other family members. She is passionate about children and loves to reach out in any way possible to help, educate, or just be a mentor. In the past few years, her family was based in Malaysia, and through a friend who runs a school, she began teaching. This gave her a new direction, and so on returning home to Bandra in 2018, she found a bond with a local NGO, Angel Express, that believes in education for all. Currently, she is a volunteer teacher with them, teaching the English curriculum to children from less fortunate backgrounds. It is a joy she has found that gives her a sense of immense peace and happiness to help these children beyond just a book-based education. Doris is a firm believer that each of us have a positive purpose to be, and we must live it to the maximum in every moment, starting with here and now. Well, Doris, being someone who was born and raised as well as married to someone from Bandra, I'm sure you would have many, many good old memories of Bandra Feast.
Natalie, it's so wonderful just being, a Bandra person, a Bandrite, as you would say it. You can travel the whole world, but you're still a Bandrite at heart. I've been born and brought up and raised at the foot of the mount, actually. We say foot of the mount because I live in this place, which is at the bottom of the steps that lead up to the Mount Mary's Basilica. So the Mount Mary's has been for me always a part of my life and part of my holidays. A visit was always considered so natural. The month of September is another very, very special month because of Our Lady's birthday. And with that came the whole transformation of Bandra into this beautiful place. Like the whole of September would go into the making of the Bandra Fair. The trucks would come before the whole fair started, and they would set up shops, and those streets, which were so plain and drab earlier, would turn into this colorful fairyland of lights and shops and colors and things we have never even seen. Sometimes the toys that came in and the snacks that came in, and a theme park too that actually comes up in designated areas in the fair. I mean, it's just awesome. It's an amazing new world that comes up during the month of September, the Bandra Fair.
So yes, it's a feel that one needs to actually experience to know what it's all about.
Very true. But for me, the very start of the Bandra Fair happens with the novenas and the beginning part of the month of September. The whole purpose is Mother Mary's birthday, which is on the 8th of September. And the Sunday closest to it is when the Bandra Fair starts for 1 week. the celebration and the partying all comes then. So the novenas come before that for 9 days, on which we have to go. And being a bandrite, you cannot not miss going for a novena. But there are people who come from all over, and it's amazing how they come with such devotion to Our Lady. So many people come in that even we have special bus routes coming into Bandra. The whole routes are changed around, and the whole part of the fair becomes a no vehicle zone. So it's just a walking area through that fair. But the main part is, the security factor. The police station comes up during the Bandra Fair as well. And that police station always came up outside my colony gate. So that was one reason why my parents said, please go to the Bandra Fair. If you get lost, you just ask anyone, please bring me back to the police station and then you can come home. So that was like, wow. The whole fair starts, as I say, that first Sunday after the 8th. And that day is the feast day, the main feast day. So you get up like really early in the morning to miss all the crowds that will come later, go for the first or second mass. And then the beauty of it was, my parents would let us walk down through those steps, and we would look through the shops, the snacks, the food. I could buy a toy, whatever toy I wanted. And the best part was getting those gas balloons. I mean, you hold on to it with all your life. It was so colorful and lightweight. You felt light just carrying that gas balloon home. These simple pleasures of life come with the Bandra Fair and those memories.
Absolutely, Doris. And looks like all Bandrites are the same. I too remember getting up, at 5 a.m. on the feast day, rushing to catch the first mass. I remember troubling my mom to buy, maybe for you it was gas balloons. For me, it was those normal bubbles. I don't know why I ate so much, but I had to come home with a couple of bottles. So beautiful, the feel is just simply awesome.
Yeah, and when you look back, we had visitors and relatives coming from places we've never heard of. Why? Because they knew someone was in Bandra and they had to come to the Bandra Fair, and they would arrive at any odd time. Sometimes they would arrive early morning to miss the crowd later and come home. Can we just stay here for a little while till the fair starts? So like my mom would be doing breakfast, or she'd be doing lunch. Somebody has just come in on the way and they're tired and hot, or they have tea, There was always, the doors were wide open at this time. Any house in Bandra have its doors open during the Bandra Fair. And that is the pleasure of it. That is the beauty of it. And you cannot forget those days. The food that was cooked, I mean, in our houses, there was always this big vessel of sorpatel and sannas and bindalu and fugyas. And it was a backup, So anytime people came, there was food always available to eat and to drink and to enjoy, and the festivities can go on forever. Bandra Fair, that's it.
Really, Doris, looking back, I now wonder, how come the food never ever ran out? There was always a big spread on Bandra Fair and everyone dropped in, our relatives, our friends, but I don't ever remember the food running out. And the sorpatel and the sannas and the fugays were there forever.
And the fun part was that the wall of our colony is the same wall as the Mount Mary steps. So we practically lived in the Bandra Fair except for that wall. So right through the night, you would hear these chanawalas going ching, 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 roasting that black gram, which was synonymous with Bandra Fair, that you had to have a packet of. And the noises, those party makers, through the night. I don't think we ever had a shortage of visitors to the Bandra Fair in those days. I mean, that was what people really looked forward to, no matter where you lived, in Bombay or anywhere else, now Mumbai or anywhere else. You had to come visit the Bandra Fair in September. Amazing.
Very true, very true. And what about the canes, Doris? How come you forgot the canes? Thankfully, our parents never visited that shop, but I could see parents buy stock for the entire year. And that was like the most famous shop down the fair. Oh, yes, such fun, such joyful memories, really. Now, all of us have definitely had some exciting memory of the Bandra Fair. How about we revisit our youth? And I'm sure our viewers will recall some great memories as we speak.
Memories of Bandra Fair, I think everyone holds so precious in their hearts. It's been around for so long. Like my dad, he would have been 100 this year, 2020. He has a photo studio picture that was taken with his brothers. I don't know which year that was. It's amazing how this has carried on through the different years, different people. You can see my pictures when I was a kid with my cousins and my sister, and that later on when I went to college with my college friends, going to a photo studio in Bandra during the Bandra Fair with the props was what was required of everybody. I don't think there's anyone who doesn't have that, black and white picture or a colored in picture of that photo studio memory. And as a child, my highlight was, I could go in and get a toy or get a new kitchen set or, plastic dolls. We were so happy with all those little things, the drums, like you said, the air bubbles, those little water bubbles that you blew. And later on, as we grew bigger, I think the pleasure came with going to a little fancier, the September Garden, which became the meeting point towards the middle of the fair. And the great part was because of the Bandra Fair, the school would close, St. Aloysius School would close, and their hall would be transformed into a disco hall. And they had lights and they had music, and there would be lines of teenagers to enter in, because in those days, we didn't have pubs and all these fancy places to go, enjoy music with friends besides house parties. So this was a beautiful time, the meeting in September Garden, going on different rides, the giant wheels and merry-go-rounds that all sprung up overnight and brought so much joy to our lives. I mean, those were simple days that we really, really enjoy.
Oh, yes, I remember the jam sessions, as we used to call it in those days, the September Gardens Queen and King. And then a little later, the celebration extended to Wigwam. I think I set up at St. Peter's School. Oh, we thoroughly enjoyed those days. Really, really. What a great pleasure to revive these memories, Doris. Lovely.
One thing I always remember is parents gave us permission to go to the Bandra Fair. Anywhere else, they may have said no, but the Bandra Fair was never a no. I mean, it was always like, yeah, go. So I think the Bandra Fair was like a complete family entertainment zone, wholesome fun and beauty that brings back memories no matter where you go later on in life or what you do. Bandra Fair will always remain, close to your heart.
And Doris, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you do celebrate your birthday sometime in September. That must be a double celebration then.
Oh, Natalie, it's the best time to have a birthday, especially when you're a child. Having my birthday in September, it always came either during the Bandra Fair week or just a day or two after. But that gave me free reign. Relatives would come and say, oh, go buy yourself what you want. I got money to spend in the Bandra Fair. My godfather would take me and say, choose whatever you want. It's my treat to you. And then later on with my college friends, my school friends earlier than that, I mean, always going to the Bandra Fair on my birthday was fantastic. Either I got a treat or I gave a treat and enjoyed myself even more. I mean, pleasures multiply having a birthday in September.
Amazing, amazing. And birthday blessings to you, my dear, coming to you from Natalie Inspires You in advance.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nance.
Doris, I believe you are currently working with an NGO at Bandra?
I'm currently teaching. I teach English at an NGO called Angel Express. They have centers all over, but they have one center which is at Bandstand. And the beauty of it that so many of these kids, they come from the surrounding areas. They're the lesser background people who, are daily wage earners and such. So they all live in that area. And last year while I was doing the novenas, I mean, it was so lovely to see these little boys, run along with you. They're all selling candles. They have stalls, they put up stalls where they sell chana and candles and flowers and offerings. Our Lady's devotion just goes to everybody. It's a blessing that we all have. Even our center, the school is closed. It's a little school, but we have to close at that point of the Bandra Fair because there's so much of noise and chaos of people from outside of Bandra coming to visit. So those kids get a holiday, which they love. It's beautiful to see these children also involved at the Mount during this whole Bandra Fair time. And they're so thrilled to see you as you come there. It's just what I feel the Mount Mary's is to all of us. It goes beyond just race or religion or people or sex. Anyone is welcome there. It is the beauty of the Mount, the faith that we have, the devotion to Our Lady that transcends beyond just you and me.
Absolutely, Doris, absolutely. It is the faith with which we all visit the Mount Mary's Basilica, believing that Mother Mary will intercede for us. And for those of you who would like to know more about Mount Mary's Basilica and Angel Express Foundation, do click the links in the description below. The Bandra Fair is believed to be over 350 years old, and in perhaps the first time in living memory, the Navinas at the Mount, as well as the Bandra Fair, is not taking place this September 2020. But we know and believe that our intercessory prayers to Mother Mary will definitely see us through this pandemic. And thank you, Doris, for coming on the show and reviving such great memories of the Bandra Feast. I'm sure it has made our viewers smile. It certainly made me.
Thanks, Nats. Thanks so much for having me. I mean, it's been, as you not celebrate the Bandra Fair this year, but this is an excellent way to revive these memories which will last you a lifetime. And I'd love to pass them on to the next generation in the future. And I hope they get to see the Bandra Fair next year. But for now, as I would say, Our Lady of the Mount is someone we can always put our faith in. And going to the Mount Mary's Basilica is always a beautiful place where I find instant peace and joy and happiness, and actually can think of better things after visiting Our Lady. She is there with us no matter what the journey is ahead. And for that, I am so grateful and so thankful, because the Mount Mary's Basilica is synonymous with Bandra and the Bandra Fair. It all comes together as one beautiful package. And I'm proud to be a Bandrite.
Oh, yes, Doris, so am I. Proud to be a Bandrite. God bless and happy feast.
Gentle woman, quiet light, morning star, so strong and bright. Gentle mother, peaceful dove, teach us wisdom, teach us love. You were chosen by the Father. You were chosen for the Son. You were chosen from all woman, and for woman, shining one, gentle woman, morning star.